Hey everyone, hope you had a Merry Christmas. We are back to reviewing High Guardian Spice. We're on episode 9, which is concluding the 2-part fall festival special we got going on here. We pick up where we last left off, where our main characters are reacting to everyone in the festival being turned into stone. Now this isn't what Olive meant to do, but apparently the reason why this happened is because her spell bounced off of Sage's spell. So she goes to fight them for a brief moment, and she actually does pretty well, beating them all up. Unfortunately, she wasn't planning on Rosemary bringing her sword with her to the festival, even though she was supposed to be spying on all these girls. So were you not spying on them the morning of the festival? Wouldn't you have seen Rose, packing her sword into her costume? Whatever. So she runs into the crowd of stone people, and everyone else follows her. But Rosemary has a head start, so obviously she's going to be catching Olive first. Now, meanwhile, Snapdragon and Amaryllis are just kind of wandering around the festival, unaware that everyone has been turned to stone because they still have the VR goggles on. And they're having a lot of trouble beating the game, despite the fact that it's supposed to be made for babies. Amaryllis accuses Snapdragon of losing the game on purpose because he doesn't want to talk about what's wrong, and as the episode goes on, they have this moment where Snapdragon opens up about what's wrong, but it's not what you think is wrong. Instead, he complains about how Amaryllis always bosses him around.
Maybe you think I like following you around like a puppy. I'm my own person.
Is that really what you think?
It seems kind of disjointed from part 1 because I didn't really, I wasn't really getting the impression that that was the problem. Also, why do these magic VR goggles work by you actually walking around? Like, I thought your brain was just being teleported inside this virtual world. Doesn't it seem a bit dangerous to actually be walking around to play the game? Even in real life, we have like those floors we can stand on that work so that they move in whatever direction you're moving in, so this type of stuff won't happen. I'd assume that in the magic universe, they would have something equivalent to that, but plot. Anyway, so Rosemary is chasing down Olive. There's at one point where I feel like Olive is going to take one of the stone statues as hostage to use that as leverage to get Rosemary and her friends to come with her, or at least Rosemary to come with her. And maybe that was going to be the direction that the show was going. But no. In the scene where it seems like Olive is thinking about using the statues as leverage, she instead is placing a thing of flour on the floor. But then all the way at the end of the episode, when everyone gets turned back from being stone, the kid trips and falls over the flour. So I guess she's just a dick? It's like, why? That's so petty. Why would you want to make a kid trip? In the middle of running from your enemy, you're just stopping to ruin a kid's day? Unless the point was supposed to be that the kid was already going to fall over, but it didn't look like the kid was in any danger of falling over. Anyway, eventually Rosemary catches up to Olive, and that's when they have their fight scene. The fight scene, as other people noted, is bizarrely better than most of the animation in the show. I can only assume that these were the parts where they outsourced to Korea to animate it. It doesn't take long for the animation to go back to looking extremely amateur, of course. Anyway, at the end of their fight, Rosemary actually manages to cut Olive's arm, and she doesn't act on this. She instead just looks at her sword so shocked that she actually cuts someone with it, and Olive manages to escape again. Meanwhile, Sage and Time meet up with Amaryllis and Snapdragon. They get them to take off the VR goggles and explain to them what's going on. Amaryllis explains that the spell was caused by these instant soup mix spells that she must have put in her Terrasphere, so the only way to undo the spell is to get her Terrasphere back. And eventually everyone finds Olive and chases her and corners her down. She's injured, so she's not doing so well.
I legitimately don't understand your confidence in this situation.
And she desperately tries to pick up her Terrasphere so she can keep fighting, but before she gets the chance to, Sage casts a spell that just creates this big flash of light, which actually gives Olive a chance to escape.
She's gone. We're never gonna find her now.
Seeing that Olive has escaped, Rosemary immediately blames Sage for creating the flash of light. Not because she's actually mad at Sage, no, but because she wants to prove a point. That Sage makes mistakes too. So purely out of spite, she blames Sage. Best friends! Now Sage smashes the terror sphere, therefore smashing the instant soup mix inside of it, and undoing the spell.
That was easy.
Later on, they all sit on a roof and talk about the events of the episode, everything that just happened. They consider talking to the teachers or the triad about these people who were after them, but then they decide not to do that because maybe there are more double agents working in the academy. Clearly, keeping secrets is much more efficient. So Sage and Snapdragon, as if they bonded over these 2 episodes, they want to spend some time together. Amaryllis is able to take a hint and decides to leave them to have their space, but Rosemary, even after hearing them say that they want some time alone together, she offers to go with them. To which then they have to re-explain to her that no, we just want to be alone together. And Rosemary is sad. Even though there's really no reason why she can't hang out with Parsley or Amaryllis. I mean, do you have to hang out with Sage all the time? Amaryllis asks Parsley how they were supposed to play the game since they couldn't defeat it, and I gotta point this out just because it is kind of silly, because their interpretation of what teamwork actually is just goofy. So she reveals to Amaryllis that the reason why they were unable to beat the game is because they weren't doing the same thing at the same time. That's how you beat the game. You gotta both do the same thing. You can't split up. So stupid. How they were playing is that one player focuses on releasing the hostages and one player focuses on beating the monster. Which sounds like a pretty normal strategy to play a 2-person game, but no, what you're actually supposed to do is you're either supposed to team up to release the hostages or team up to beat the monster. You can't do 2 different things. That's what true teamwork is. So let me get this straight. If I'm playing Double Dash with someone, we're both supposed to do nothing but punch and activate items. Neither of us are supposed to drive. Or we're both supposed to drive, but none of us should be using items or punching other players. That wouldn't work! But you know, this is exactly why people who don't play video games shouldn't lecture people how to play video games. So Olive is in her cat form again, and Smoky Cloud comes to visit her. He explains that he managed to convince the Triumphant to give her a second chance, but since she failed her mission, they want to send somebody else to help her kill the main characters. And we get some brief clips of the High Guardian characters having fun rejoining the festival and relaxing. Obviously, you know, Snapdragon and Sage are on their little date, and the LGBT characters all simultaneously compliment Snapdragon's outfit. I wonder why. Everyone's having a good time, all except for Rosemary, who is alone because she chose to be alone, because she couldn't hang out with her one friend. Therefore, she can't hang out with any of her friends, apparently. So as Rosemary is walking this lonely road, the only road that she has ever known, I kid you not, Slime Boy is singing in the background, singing a sad song in the background while Rosemary's walking alone. Slime Boy, ladies and gentlemen!
What makes this world so beautiful?
Yes! Sing to me your angelic melody! Anyway, that's where the episode ends. The episode ends with Rosemary being sad that her 1 out of 16 friends won't hang out with her. Do you feel thing? No? Oh, I guess this episode wasn't that good either then, huh? This is known for being one of the better episodes. I suspect this one is particularly known for being one of the better episodes because the fight scenes are better animated than other fight scenes. Thanks, Korea. The tension that they're trying to build up with Sage and Rosemary just isn't really working for me. Whatever tension that they thought they built up with Amaryllis and Snapdragon was just nonsensical and not even resolved. He just randomly says that he's upset that she always bosses him around, and then that's it. It's not like they properly built up that being a problem, and it's not even like they tried to solve it in this episode, so what's the point? Also, Amaryllis killed a bird because she's stupid, and I guess I'm supposed to laugh at that. Anyway, that's episode 9 of High Guardian Spice. That's all I have for you today. That's it. Oh, what's that? You're not satisfied? Hell, neither is anyone who watched this show. You're getting a very authentic High Guardian Spice experience. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you did enjoy, like the video, comment down below what your own personal thoughts are. If there are any criticisms that you feel like I might have missed, things that I've gotten wrong, do let me know. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these High Guardian Spice reviews. There's gonna be more reviews coming out. I'll see you next time. Till then, bye!
Program restart.